Everybody's Phoenix Down. Welcome back to another gameplay of Elden Ring. So, like I said in the last one, this is all kind of a personal therapy to me. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just go over some key concepts that I had faced tonight in my fight. Because tonight was fight night, and me and a few of my teammates had competed. So, I'm gonna go over some of my mindset and the outcomes. Which were all good. And you know, I'm gonna go to where I am now and what I was thinking before and what I've been actually pondering a lot on my own time days before my fight. So let's go ahead and we have no clear objective in this episode, just like the last one. I'm just gonna go around. I might fight the boss that I've been dying to, but we'll see. But like I said, no clear objective, just having fun. What is death? you know, as living creatures um, on this plane of existence, wherever it may be, whether you look at it religiously, spiritual, whatever, death is a real thing. But it's hard for us to conceptualize exactly what death is. We don't know. And you have people who have near death experiences and they talk about seeing a light or seeing figures and all that, but they do come back. So, how do we know if that's true? Um, And I know this is a weird topic to start the video off with, but I wanted to go over something. So I have with me. I always take notes because, like I said in the first episode, I'm terrible at speaking. I don't choose the best words, but I try, and I'm going to try. So, anyways, I took some notes. So, death is the irreversible end of a system's functioning as an integrated whole. For a body's cessation of biological processes that sustain life. For an ideal or role, permanent loss of function or relevance. Key trait is finality. It does not return. It is the end of continuity, sorry. So, that's one thing I wanted to go over. But I also want to go over something else. Ego death. Ego death is the temporary dissolution of the sense of a separate self. Sorry, I'm trying to play and do this. So, identity, narrative, and self boundaries collapse. There is no me striving, judging, or protecting. Usually not permanent, but accompanied. Let's say usually okay, often accompanied by loss of time, role, and personal story, and usually not permanent, but deeply disruptive when it occurs. The death of there's something over here. Okay, the death of the illusion of a separate self, even if only briefly. And then the last thing I want to go on is ego release. The ego is present but no longer driving. Key difference from ego death, you can still say I, you just aren't defending it. So why do I bring these up? There's got to be a reason, right? Well, I believe all this happened. Um, all this had to take place in our fights tonight. So four of us fought on my team, and like I said, not all of it was good, but it is what it is. That's what happens. Oh, this mother. Oh, he's not too bad. Um, that's what happens. Definitely in a sport like MMA. It's people take their wins, you take your losses. Um, so, bitch, you fucking thought. So, I've been going into a manga lately. Ooh, shit, I've been getting into a manga lately, and it that manga is Vagabond. Now, if you ever read it, it's been a while around for a while, but I read it a few years ago, the very beginning, and I liked it, but I didn't really get into it. Well, I've recently decided to actually get into it, and man, I really like it. I like the mindset of the samurai in it. It's if you haven't ever read or looked into Vagabond, you should, or Vagabond. I really, like I said, suck at pronouncing shit, but you should definitely give it a try. It's really good. So, it's based off of a samurai known as Miyamoto Musashi, and Miyamoto Musashi is actually one of the founders, and I want to say he is, but I haven't looked really into this. But he's one of the founders of the mindset. Well, he is the founder of the mindset of Mushin, um, and or what we know as flow state. Um, Dragon Ball Z talks about it. Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Bruce Lee talks about it a lot. A lot of athletes talk about it, and I've entered it multiple times in my life. A lot of people enter it from like gaming and shit, but I've entered it a lot in competitions and whatnot. So, anyways, Mushin is as described by Miyamoto Musashi is a state of no mind where action occurs without conscious thought, hesitation, or attachment. Um, So the mind is empty of fear, intent, and self-reflection, allowing trained action to arise instantly and correctly. Key traits in Musashi's framing is no fixation on winning, losing, or technique. No internal dialogue um, or emotional turbulence. Awareness is wide, calm, and responsive. The body acts before the mind interferes. That last part is key. The body acts before the mind interferes. Now, stay with me. I know, like I said, this is all philosophical in this game series. So if you don't like this, I'm sorry. And I hate to just say that it, not to like drive people away, but this is what we're gonna be talking about here. What the fuck? Okay, all right, okay. We can play magical spells, sir. We can play magical spells. We can play that. I'm all game for that shit. I've been getting my shit up. Oh, that shit is actually very dangerous. But anyways, so perfect readiness without intention. Um, in moderate terms, this closely overlaps with flow state, but with an important distinction. Flow emphasizes absorption and performance. Mushin emphasizes non-attachment and clarity under lethal pressure. Um, so, for example, like me, for a fighter, I'm not trying to fight well. I am just simply fighting, and I'm going to get into this and what I mean. Oh, okay, I've been spotted. Let's bring him on out just in case. I don't want to get trapped in there. Um, so. So here's how I went about my fight. I prepared if anybody's ever competed before, whether it's wrestling or MMA, uh you gotta, if you're trying to cut weight, usually stop eating maybe the evening before the fight. You stop drinking, you water loaded, blah blah blah. So before the fight, what I did, I didn't mean to take that. So I woke up and I was feeling pretty good. So I usually start my fight days by shadow boxing. It's basically to gauge how I feel, like for tightness and soreness. And I felt particularly great actually. I didn't feel tight. I didn't feel sore. But however, as I was in the middle of shadow boxing, something happened. I got tired, which is normal. But when I got tired, I started second guessing myself. Like, man, is my gas tank really good? And once I did that, my body didn't feel as great anymore. And that's when it hit me. I was in my own way. It was the ego. So I had decided to let the body do what it does best, and I wasn't going to criticize it anymore. I kind of just what am I trying to say? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if I need a block or something, the thought was there, but I wanted to just let the body fight. I was tired of criticizing myself. I literally just sat back. I know that I know I'm not explaining that well, but that's what I did. So, basically I was ready to sit back and let my body fight on its own. So right before the fight, you get weigh-ins and you meet your opponent, and he was nice. I seen film on him before, as he had studied film on me. Spoiler alert. And you know, he was really good, and it was an honor to meet him. I like to excuse me, I like to be honorable with my opponents. I try to be as grateful and nice and all that to them. Not all of them are recipient or how to what am I trying to say? They don't know how to give that back. Uh, So it is what it is. But he was nice. He made some comments, and he wasn't being an asshole. They asked us to take a picture with the belt because I was defending the championship, and they asked who wanted it first, and the guy I was fighting, he said, "You take it first. It's not mine yet." And I looked at him and I laughed and I said, "Yeah, it's all good." Ooh, a sacred tear. Hold on a second. Who's this?
You're tarnished, aren't you?
And if I
Well,
am,
perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the
ooh,
Academy of Rea Lucaria.
okay.
For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
Hmm. Now I wouldn't. I'm not.
Bless you, bless you.
I don't know if this is a good
You're a
idea.
true saint. My name is Topes.
Okay.
Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries as promised,
All right. Let's see
only
it.
none of them are particularly great.
Okay. That's all right. Damn, you are in line. What is this? Fires a horizontal wide. Well, that's not too bad. And creates a starlight to illuminate surroundings. Yeah, you're not lying. And I think I already have this one. Oh, Glint Pebble. I'm okay. Well, thanks, sir. What do these messages say? Why is it always good sort? I think I'm reading the wrong one. Okay, whatever. So I met him, and he was like, "It's not my belt yet," which I thought was funny, and we were cool about it. And he's like, "Let's give him a show, whatever." Blah blah blah. So I could tell like when you do a face off, you could tell how determined someone is, and I could tell he wanted that belt. He wanted that belt so bad, and nothing wrong with that. But I kind of just sat back, and you know, I didn't, I didn't really. It was just a belt, and it's not to say that might sound weird to some people. Um, like what are you fighting for? Blah blah. Listen, it's just materials, you guys, and I'm not getting into that. That's a whole different conversation in and of itself, and it is what it is. If you like, excuse me, I am so sorry. If you like collecting belts or whatever prized possessions, then that's on you. I'm not gonna judge. For me, that's not it. It's just it's just another thing for me personally. So it is what it is. Yeah, that's death. Um, so the day goes on. I'm trying not to shut your ass up. Oh wow. I'm trying not to think about anything like how's my gas, blah 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 blah. I'm trying not to criticize myself, as I said before. Um, I had a conversation with myself, and like I said in the last episode, yes, I do talk to myself. Um, as crazy that sounds, I don't care. I know a lot of everyone does it, but I like literally talk to myself, and it helps me. And I came to the realization that I am doing this not to win, not for glory. I'm doing it for self mastery. That's what this is all about. So we get ready to fight. My first teammate goes up. He's fight number three. Um, and he TKO's got the dude. He take TKO's really fast. So we're like, yeah, we knew that was gonna happen. We just the guy that he was fighting, he didn't even make it on weight. My teammate had to actually go up a class because dude couldn't cut the weight. He came in 5 pounds over. So my guy had, and if you come in 5 pounds over, you're only allowed to lose 2 pounds, to lose or gain 2 pounds. So he was in a whole another weight class. So my teammate had to literally eat and pump up 2 pounds to get into that weight class. So he ended up fighting. So we knew that was gonna work. I mean, he wasn't gonna win that. We knew. So he wins. Now my next teammate gets ready to fight. Now he's undefeated. He's 2-0, and he goes out there. We knew that his guy is teammates with my guy, so we knew they were going to come out swinging hard. And it is what it is. We just needed to stay calm, keep our gas on us, do what we trained to do, not worry about them, and execute. So my teammate goes and he starts fighting, and I'm warming up because I'm 2 fights after him, but I wanted to watch this. My teammate is actually like my student. He's an underclassman in the gym in the school in our school, but he's also a classmate and he's also my rival. He's really good. He's a tall kid. I'm only 5'6". This guy is like 6'3". So he's a tall guy, and he does really well. But man, he gets beat. Like this guy got the power that he's fighting, and he try attacking what? You got me fucked up. So I can fall off the cliff? Nah, I'm cool. Um, like I said, I got no go. I'm just kind of wandering right now. I'm sorry. I know this isn't too interesting, but I'm talking. I'm trying to find some fights. Maybe I should teleport to a different place. Probably be a better idea. So, he goes and the guy has a lot of power and spoiler. Well, long story short, I should say, my teammate loses by decision, and he came out the cage, and I'm telling you, I was not expecting to see my teammate like that. His eye was swollen shut. He was all like, his whole body's red, cuts on him and everything. And I'm just like, damn, and I'm trying not to like pity him. His girlfriend's there, his mom is there, and they're looking concerned. But he understands, he's not like, what the fuck was that? He understands we do this shit, And I try not to be a certain way, and well, my teammate, I mean, my coach is consoling him. His mom and his girls consoling him, so he doesn't need me there. But they leave, and now I'm about to get ready to. Whoa! Okay, my armor is dog shit right now. Um, it's more of a mage build though. But anyways, everyone's consoling him, and they walk away. Now I'm looking at him now. I told them about my mindset of samurai before we had started, and I told them how back in the back in samurai times that they would basically a samurai would hear a story. Wow, a samurai would hear a story of another samurai, right? Let's say the samurai slayed over 50 men in a duel. He's never lost a duel. They call him the death of whatever valley. Let's just make a shit up. Jeez Louise, Phoenix. Jeez. So they call it the death of what a Southern Valley or whatever. So a samurai would go over there, and now let's say these are respectable samurai. Now you got Roroni and all whatever, but uh, they would go and they would be, hey, I've heard tells of you. I've heard, I've heard how you have slayed this many men and blah blah blah. And they'd be okay, then I want to challenge you to a duel. Well, that samurai would be like, yes, we can have a duel, but I don't. But you, just so you know, like you could die. And I'm gonna fuck with this thing one more time. I'm gonna have to change my armor, but that you could die, and the samurai would be understanding about that. And like, that's fine, it'd be an honor for you to kill me in battle. So they would fight, and one of them would die, and bitch, bitch, one of them would die in battle, and oh, that's that. Ooh, that was lucky as shit. And that would be that. They were ready to live and die like that, guys. Like that's how it was. So basically, my philosophy was, we go in there and we compete, and if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. It is what it is. And when my teammate came back after his loss and everyone was done consoling him, I walked up to him and he was kind of like trying not to be emotional about it, which is understandable. I mean, it's not only a loss, but you fought. I mean, it is what it is. And I put my hand on his head, and I said to him, I want to tell you what you've done for me. And he looked at me kind of confused. I said, you added to my courage to walk into that ring tonight. And that is 100% the truth. Oh, wow, he almost went through that shit. That it is though. It is though. So he added to that courage. He gave me strength that if I can go in there and compete, that motherfucker just I never had one of these things attack me before. um But if he could go in there and compete, and we were at home, this isn't away, this is at home in front of all of our family and friends, and if he can go out there and compete and lose, then I can go in that ring and I can fight and give it all my all. So it was true. That's how I felt. So I also had to do something. I had to take my own emotions and I had to tell myself, I'm not going to fight this guy and revenge my teammate. This isn't about my teammate. This is about me. This is about my fight, you know? And I wasn't going to be emotional about my fight. So I stepped out of the way and I continued to go, get ready for the fight. Well, we go out there and I get ready for my fight. Oh, no, I don't know how I'm alive. I don't know how I'm alive. Um, so I get ready for my fight. We go out there and we fight, and I I the first round I kind of well, not played around. I was calm. I was waiting. I was going at my own pace. Kid was fast. He was really competing for that belt. Like I said, I could already tell once what the I was trying to hit him. I was trying to hit the skull. Um, I could already tell he wanted that belt. Like I said earlier, and he um he came up to me. Well, we started, and he was right off the grip trying to go hard, which is okay. I'm patient, and I was doing my shit, doing my own thing, and it turned into kind of a grappling match. Now I'm a four-stripe blue belt in jiu-jitsu, but I'm striking's my first passion. So I was calm. I was whatever. I tried to rip his arm off in one of the in one of the parts or at the end of the first round, but I couldn't get it. So it was whatever. First round ended. Second round started. We started going. I caught him with a right, knocked him out. Now the thing is, when he fell out, they didn't stop it. So I started beating him up, and I heard him, and he even said it. He woke up to me on top of him. I beat him awake. And this isn't me flexing. I promise you it isn't. I'm just telling you guys this. I beat him awake and then put him back out. And then that was the fight. So when we finished, I went out and I was talking to my teammates. My coach bought me a beer, which I do not drink, but I've never touched this with Grace before. I never have. Look at that. Found new Grace. Lost Grace discovered. Look at that. Um, so I was talking to my teammates. They were congratulating me. People in the crowd want to take pictures of me. Blah blah blah. Well, Nate comes up to me and he says, "Dude, I don't even know what you hit me with," and I just kind of like, chuckled about it. And I was telling him, he has a good head on his shoulders, blah blah blah. Now, again, I'm going somewhere with all this. Just give me a second. And he said, "Man," he said, "Yeah, he said you were real good. You're the real thing." And I thanked him and I told him again. I was like, you are a great martial artist. I said, do not let this loss get to you. It's just part of the journey. We're gonna win and we're gonna lose, and we're amateurs. It's whatever. But he was sad. He was, and he was getting emotional, and I had to console him. And I know a lot of people be like, "What the fuck? Like, fuck this," whatever. But I'm not like that. Marshall, for me, we already beefed. We already fought, and it wasn't about that. It's about growth and it's about the journey. Um, so, oh hell no, hell no, I'm not fighting him. Hell no, that is straight death. Um, but he tapped my belt and he said, I really wanted that. And I looked at him and I said, now here's the thing. Before I say this, when they brought the belt out, guys, now I told you I was the defending champ. I was the defending champion, and when they brought the belt out, it was the same exact belt. So Nate's looking at it like, oh, that's amazing, blah blah blah, and I'm like, man, I wish they'd have changed the design. So I got two of the same belts now. And he's like, he started like you can hear tears swelling up in him. And he said, I really wanted that belt. And I looked at him and I said, Nate, it's just the belt. And it is. It's just the belt. Now, of course, the guy with three belts is telling the guy who has no belts it's just the belt, but it's true. It's true. That belt don't mean nothing to me. I mean, not that it doesn't. I mean, it shows all the hard work, but what matters the most is that my teammates, the love my family gives me on a daily fucking basis, what are these guys all right? My teammates, Like they don't see my teammates tapping me out, submitting me in class, beating me down. They see the championship, and I was like, I told them it literally is just. I say it's literally just a belt. It's just a belt. And a few days ago, I had both my belts hanging up in my studio, and I looked at them and I said, they're just collectibles. They're just hanging here. And he said, yeah, I know, but I really wanted it. And I said, you'll get one. You just gotta keep trying. That's part of the journey or whatever. And he was just very distraught about it and whatnot. And like I said, good guy. He has he's gonna be a good martial artist. I know he is. He just got to keep going and keep trying. So overall, I don't think my real victory. Matter of fact, I'm going to go and face this boss first. If I remember those bosses, it's this one right here. I'm going to. Is this it? Yes, Red Main Castle. I wonder if this is it. I want to go face this boss before I give my little ending spiel here. Which I know I'm gonna die to this boss, and I can beat this boss. I know I can, but I don't. I'm gonna have to sit down and change my shit, and I not feel like doing that right now on game. I mean on video. So I know you guys don't care, but I'm not scared to die real quick. So which is kind of the philosophy that I've had tonight. So let's face this boss. So I can get past this first phase, this first, this. There's two bosses. This guy's not hard. It's the fucking knight I kind of struggle with. Gotta see what he's gonna do. All right. Nah. Damn, that was just bad on my part. Huh, huh, huh. See, he's not hard. It's this guy up here. This guy's a fucking threat. He. Oh, I was about to say they still play me though. They still play me though, guys. They almost got me. Yeah, it's this guy. This guy's a fucking threat. He just has a lot of yep, 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 yep. He has a lot of fucking he has good defense, and I'm not sure entirely how to beat him. Maybe I need to summon some stuff to beat him. But he's just so hard to fight, to be honest. At least for me. I know people would fucking dog this shit. Ooh. Okay, alright, let's just stay calm. Let's try to get him, y'all. Let's try to get him. I haven't fought this boss in days, and I'm surprised I made it this far the first time. You, you guys see what happened in the last gameplay? They just Molly walked the fuck out of me. Ooh, ooh, that was bad. That was bad. I'm surprised I'm alive. That was bad. Oh, I see it. I trucked that shit just in fucking time. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh. Beep. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. Damn. Got him with the back. Got him with the backup. That was nice. That was nice. Not too bad. I think just need to change my tactics with him clearly, but maybe I need to like summon some friends so he's not targeting me because I'm doing a lot of good damage to him. So, but I was gonna say, my real personal victory tonight during my fight, it did not come from winning another belt. It didn't come from knocking the guy out. It did not. It didn't come from having a highlight reel and whatever. My personal victory came from mastery of my own self. Being able to step in the ring, to step outside of myself mentally and let myself do what I was trained to do. Not to get caught up in emotionalness of my teammate losing slash student. Yes, I will call him that. He's also my rival. But anyways, didn't come from that. I mean, I didn't get emotional for that. I didn't think one time this belt is mine and I'm not letting him have it. Which I'm not saying you can't have that mindset. I just didn't. I took a step away from all of that. I told the guy I was fighting, I said, listen, your teammate beat my teammate, and if my teammate can go out there and compete to the best of his ability for 3 rounds, come out after a loss and, not complain about shit, whatever, then I can go into this ring myself and fight my fucking ass off. And if I lose, I was gonna walk out with my head held high. And that helped my opponent so much after his loss to understand. So it came from mastery of my own self. That's all. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.